It's Star Time. It's your boy, the Star Roddy Rod. Today, we got special guest Eric from Now We're Here podcast. Was good.
Hey, what's up, Rod?
And we got my boy Dwayne. Was really good, bro.
What up? What up? What up, man? Glad to be here.
Today, we are discussing stuff you find in the back in the day. Like a lot of times, it's been stuff that's been bought out and stuff that's revamped, but we're the OGs. We know about when stuff was popping. So I call this episode, back in my day, 90s Kids Edition. Y'all ready?
Yeah, for
Yep,
sure.
let's do it.
All right. So my first question is, did y'all have a sidekick?
I didn't have a sidekick, but I had a flip phone with the little antenna that you pull
Nobody
out.
didn't know about flip phones.
Yeah, a little flip phone had a little antenna that you pulled out.
The
But
one
there's
in the
nothing like,
center?
yeah. But when you get in an argument with your girl, you can't do it nowadays where you can just push your button and angry. You can just snap it shut to really show people how mad you were.
Uh,
You can't do that nowadays.
But wait, what was your first phone?
yo, man, I had a Nokia track phone, like the little bar phone.
Oh, word?
Yeah, had it from Family Dollar.
Oh,
Yeah, it had a pinata ringtone. Yeah, man, that was my first joint, man. I never had a sidekick, man. I wish I did. I never had a sidekick though.
no, I had some friends with a sidekick. They'd pull it out and do the little flip with it and everything. And I always looked at them like, man, that's so cool. I can just like flip mine open, but they could like spin it around because it had that little lid to it.
I never had a sidekick as well, but I always seen people around me with it, and it was so cool to know that you could freaking write people on AIM and sidekick, and that was like it was like basically the text message iMessage thing now.
Yo, that was an error. The way you just said aim, that took me back, boy. That sidekick
Y'all had AIM.
definitely had aim.
Yeah, yeah.
What was your AIM names if you remember?
Ooh.
Dwayne from BK93.
I don't remember mine. That was a long time ago. But I remember having it though, where you just like
Yeah,
keep your desktop open, then you hear it go doo doo. Someone's on. You kind of go to the computer and see who logged on real quick.
Oh yeah, it was on the computer and on
Um,
the phone.
yeah, I never had it on the phone. I had it on the computer though.
Yeah, for
yo,
sure.
AIM had a couple of acronyms you had to ask people when you was on there, like ASL, I think.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And that was when people started to use loud a lot.
Yeah.
Loud as like aim.
LOL. People used to use LOL a lot.
Oh,
And
I remember
oh,
going into chat rooms and people do ASL for age, sex, location, like you said, and you'll be like 15, whatever, and
man, tell you that was the time.
uh, that was a time to be alive, bro. You didn't even have to know a girl name. You just pull up like, yo, what's your screen name?
yeah.
Yo,
What about BBM?
What's that?
I never had a BlackBerry.
You never had a BlackBerry, bro?
No, I never did.
Nobody needs a BlackBerry, bro. It's just like you just try to get it to look important.
Well, before
During
iPhone, I had a
during the
Palm.
during the era, I had a BlackBerry, and BBM was pop. I remember just having mad people on BBMs, just adding people around, like, oh, get my BBM, get my BBM. But BBM acted similar to WhatsApp, so yeah, that was WhatsApp before WhatsApp to
For sure.
me.
No, it's funny. I never had that. Never had that either.
Did y'all used to did y'all used to get blockbuster movies?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Waiting
know,
for the new movies to come out and rush into the new release section.
What
Nah,
about
I've
you,
never touched a
Dwayne?
block. Never seen a blockbuster in person.
Oh man.
You're old enough to know what Blockbuster
No,
is.
no, I definitely know what a blockbuster is. Like, but I feel like by the time I like was actually trying to request movies, it was a DVD era.
Blockbuster got taken over by Netflix. If anybody's listening and don't know what we're talking about, there was a story that Netflix went into Blockbuster office to do a merger, and they laughed at them out the office when they had the meeting.
I mean, I don't blame them, man. Like, if you think about it, you think everybody didn't know what the internet was gonna be, bro, and who knows what's gonna be in the future.
I got some more internet stuff coming up right now. Did
but
did
but I heard the
what
same
wins
thing
of
about.
oh
Oh no, sorry. I
go ahead.
was saying I remember the same thing about the Netflix thing. I guess they went to Blockbuster and they're like you said, they were like, "Hey, let's do something together." And Blockbuster's like, "Nah, we got this. This is our show." And then they went off did their thing, and then Blockbuster tried to
Went
do
out
the
of business.
Redbox thing, and then the Redbox, right?
Yeah,
Those little red ones at the grocery store. And
yeah,
then Redbox was already hot, so Blockbuster tried to get in on that, and they were like, "Shoot, we're already behind." And then Netflix bumped Redbox down, and then Blockbuster's just like, I guess we're out of here then."
yeah. And then it's like Blockbuster just went out of business overnight, like over a few years later. It's crazy. Because over here in Brooklyn, there was Blockbusters everywhere during that time.
Yeah, I went in high school. I worked at Papa John's Pizza next door, right next door to a Blockbuster. So like on Friday nights, it was crazy because everyone's going for the new releases at Blockbuster, then walking next door to order some pizza. I mean, Friday nights were busy anyway, but then on our breaks, we would try to go over next door and be like, "Hey, hold these movies for us until I get off work." And they try to hook it up sometimes, but sometimes you'd go in and you'd see the stack of movies that they haven't like scanned in yet. I need to go back, and you're trying to find your movie, and there's all kinds of stuff with that whole thing. Like trying to save a movie for your friend, you would hide it behind another movie, and
Yeah,
like the like, yeah, I got this one for you. I hid it behind this over in the horror section, and
Yeah, it's like a different era.
yeah,
It's like a pretty cool
yeah.
era.
But on Netflix, they got that. I think it's called like The Last Blockbuster or something on Netflix, which is ironic because
mm.
they didn't work it out. But what was it? There's like
I was like a
one up in like
documentary type of thing.
Yeah, up in like Oregon, there's like one single Blockbuster left in like the entire country. And you walk in and it has like the candies, it has the different sections. It might have like the box, like the return box. It's like a full on old like Blockbuster, but it's like somewhere in Oregon. But people go
Yeah,
there just for that.
they made an episode of that on Family Guy. I remember
Yeah.
seeing that. So before Family Guy existed, we talking about other stuff. Yeah. So did y'all have Walkmans?
Oh yeah.
Mm, I had access to a Walkman. Like, my mom used to have these tapes, like these old rap tapes, like Wu-Tang Clan, Mace, and all that. And she had like a little Walkman stash. Like, she had a little collection, and then she had her CDs on top. So I had access to a Walkman, but I didn't have a Walkman.
Man, Walkman days, you had to like bring you had to bring your CDs with you that you wanted to have. Like I had a CD book with me going to high school, and I would burn. Yeah, did y'all burn your own CDs?
Yeah, I did.
Yo, it's crazy. When you said Walkman, right? My mind was like, yo, I'm thinking about cassette tapes.
Yeah.
I, that's further. I didn't say cassette tape, but that's
Right.
further.
My bad. No, I had Walkman. I had a Walkman. I did for sure. Because you could put it in the computer and make a mix.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did.
No, I'm talking that's the burn CDs. Walkman is what you put your CDs in.
Oh, okay.
You got
Okay.
to get the Discman. You got to get the Discman with the skip protection.
Oh yeah, definitely that.
Because before you would have your Discman and you're like just holding it still. Any little bump, you're like, Come on. And then when they come out with skip protection, it's supposed to have been stable enough so it doesn't be skipping, but still same thing. You just like shake it a little bit and you're like, all right. But my problem with all that was like trying to get batteries.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You would have to go to your nearest pharmacy and get the 4 pack, the 8 pack or something on sale. Yeah. Back in the day, mostly everything used batteries.
Yeah, and with that, like for me after school, I played basketball in high school, so we'd have like an hour after school to like go hang out and then get on the bus for like away games. And it was always a problem because if you didn't get batteries, you're asking everyone on the bus like, "Hey, who has extra batteries? I got three good ones, but I need one more." And then that would be the difference between you listening to nothing for 45 minutes or listening to, your records between A and B. And it's like that was the biggest thing about CD Walkman's like, man, who has some
Do you
batteries?
remember do you remember what CDs you were listening to or albums you bought for your Walkmans or
Well, for me, it was kind of funny because I with the basketball team, it was always hip hop, but it was the time in my high school time, it was like Eminem, Dre's 2001. But at the same time, we had Rough Riders, we had the Locks, dropped a couple of them. So we had some guys on the team that were like, you would have thought they're from Brooklyn or New York or somewhere from like because just how they were dressing too, it's just like what we saw on like
hey,
MTV,
really?
BT, and everything. Yeah, and then like the music videos. But we're like, wait a minute, but we're in San Diego though. But you're dressed in your Timberlands and your rag like you're like coming from a DMX video. Like it was just kind of funny how we like switched them up.
Boy. Yo, Akon first album was called
Convict did or
uh
something? Oh, that was the
yeah,
second.
Was it?
Locked Up, you wanna let me
Oh
out.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, woo, yo, that album was dope as hell. So definitely that Akon album. And yo, 50 Cent used to have like a bunch of mixtapes. I think one was called God's
yeah.
Plan or something like that.
Yeah, 50 Cent was dropping mixtapes like crazy when I was in high school. I remember that.
For sure. My cousin was in high school, so she would have all the mixtapes. And I would just bump them. I'm like 9 years old, ready to get a bulletproof vest.
So, I know you mentioned tapes. Did your family have a tape and a vinyl collection or a record collection?
Yeah, we had that tape. My mom had a tape collection, like old Wu-Tang stuff. Cause she came here when she was like 17, so she was still into hip hop and stuff. So she had Wu-Tang, she loved LL Cool J tapes. We definitely used to have to hit that rewind button.
Yeah, we had a whole cassette player too.
Word. Word.
Can you believe there's no more? Can you believe like how evolved VHS has come to VHS to DVD to now streaming?
Yeah, I think that's pretty sad, man. Like kids, like they're not gonna have no memories unless they have an account on Netflix.
That is the truth.
Yeah, I didn't think of that way.
What was
'Cause
your
it's cool.
favorite? What was your favorite videos, your videotapes that you had? You have like maybe like two or three that you had that you used to watch all the time.
Not really for me. I would just kind of like buy what I could afford and what was kind of sort of new, but I didn't really watch them over and over or more than once if I could, because I kept like anytime I got paid, I'm like, oh, $6 bin, let me grab something. But not for me. My first one was Army of Darkness.
Uh,
This is a dumb movie, but it's funny.
yo, that's dope. Man, I just got whatever the bootleg man could afford, man. Like those movies were just $5 a pop. If it was Lion King, if it was A Bug's Life, it was all $5 a pop. Just getting a bootleg tape.
And I ain't gonna lie, you will be set when you see the bootleg man and back in the day, and you will see him with like deals because sometimes he'd be like, "Yo, 5 for 12, 5 for 12 and shit." So it's like you get all the movies that came out around the same time. for the bootlegs. Yeah,
Here, check it out though. Yo, what happened to the bootleg man now that streaming has taken over?
he's out of business.
Yo, you don't know what the bootleg man is doing now.
Ah, he probably wants to sell something else.
Yeah, for sure. You're right.
I never
So
got into bootleg DVDs, but I would get the bootleg CDs. We didn't have I know there was a couple barbershops out here that had some good bootlegs, but we had like the indoor swap meet in Oceanside. It's something different now, but you would walk in and the guy would have them out there, and it was like Machiavelli 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, some Nas mixtapes that weren't even out yet, all that stuff. So I wasn't into the bootleg DVDs, but the CDs you would find me like searching through um, all the different new Tupacs or the unreleased Tupacs that never came out. Even some of it still isn't even come out yet, but I got them on CD somewhere.
that is something, bro.
For sure. That was
Yeah.
definitely a marketplace.
Yes.
Rest in damn, rest in peace to all the stuff we're about to name tonight. Like if you're tuned in right now, majority of the stuff we're about to talk about, if you're not at least 20 and up, you don't know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, that's a fact, bro. Like I work at a high school. I try to tell them my old stories, and they look at me like I'm a elderly
They
person.
can't relate.
Nah, not at all.
No, just today at work, one of the guys made a comment about like Billy Madison, like quoted the movie from Billy Madison, Adam Sandler, and she's just like, I don't know what that is. She's like, I know who Adam Sandler is, but I never seen the movie. And we're like, you got some homework this week, and you need to watch all these movies.
Oh, damn.
Yo, for sure. They don't know what it
You're a
is,
teacher
man.
too, right, Dwayne?
You said what?
You're a teacher too, right?
Yeah.
So so you tell your kids about the old stuff too?
Like I start off with the back in my day, and they just tune me out. Once I say back in my day, they don't even want to hear what I'm saying. Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah. So
Dang.
what was the first TV that you had in the house? Was it color? Was it big in the back? Was it I don't know, I'm taking it out back. Was it huge? Like you had to have like three people carry it?
You said the first what?
TV. How did it look?
Shit,
Yeah, heavy.
nah, for sure. It was a big. Nah, it wasn't a big TV, but it was big in the back. It was big in the back for sure.
Man,
Yeah.
can y'all see how like the evolution of how TVs look have changed?
Oh yeah. I mean, they used to be big and clunky, like you said, big in the back. Like you couldn't like you put it against the wall, but it's like 2 feet off the wall.
Yeah.
Yo, for sure. Yo, those TVs last forever though.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if
Uh,
you go into somebody in an old person's house, they still got one of those TVs and they're still jumping.
It's still rocking. It still got those three holes. You know those three holes for the video game system? The red, yellow,
Yeah,
and green one? Yeah,
Yeah.
you never gonna see that again either.
man.
No, now it's one cord, and I think my grandma had one, but she used it wasn't that big. It was probably like a 14-inch that she had in her like extra room, but it didn't work no more, so she still used it though as like a shelf. She just put a thing over the top and put a plant on top. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, whatever works, right?
Remember how we
Oh,
used to have bootleg cable or like cable where like a lot of people found a way not to pay for cable back in the day, and I just don't understand how.
Yo, I don't know. That used to be a little trick. Somebody would come through, hook it up for you. Yeah,
Or
because
something similar to the Fire Stick.
yo, my parents used to go to sleep, bro. I used to hit them channels until I found one of the good ones.
yeah.
Yo,
You know?
everybody used to go and because they used to have the Spice Channel and all of that on the freaking cable network, and you just had to pick Playboy and all that. You just hit back, right?
Yo, and you gotta be quick. You gotta be quick on the back button. If you move it
Yeah.
slow, you gonna get caught.
Yeah, I heard them getting up. Boop.
Yo, facts. Facts. That used to be a wave, boy. Encore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cinemax, all that.
So now it's like there's still cable, but it doesn't make sense to really get it unless you really need it or you're old school. That's what streaming's for now.
Yeah, now they're streaming like they're putting what I want like on one channel, a new app or an app I don't have, an account I don't have yet, and I'm like, man, now I gotta pay for that one or just try to do the 14-day like free trial just to watch my show.
Yeah,
For sure.
is times has changed, y'all. Like, I guess it's just evolution of technology and how things is done. Because we don't even. It's like Stone Age if you still have cable in your house now.
Yeah, yeah, you can say that. I mean, I feel like a lot of those like live shows still come on cable. Like you want to watch the BET Awards, you gotta have cable or something like that. Or like an NBA game, you gotta have cable, huh?
There's apps.
Mm,
There's not really, but I get it.
yeah, but if I don't have the game though, I gotta go find someone with cable to go watch the game. Usually at my
So
mother-in-law's.
cable is still somewhat man now. It's just who can afford it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Next, what are some game systems you had back in
I,
the day? I'm talking about Sega. Yeah, go ahead.
and well, I didn't have many, man. I'll let you take this one, Eric.
I remember starting off with the original NES, the little box. And
Really?
then, yeah, it was mostly my brother's though, but I used to try to play a little bit when he let me like Duck Hunt and what was it? Just the regular first, second, and third Mario's.
Yeah.
And then graduated from that to Sega, playing a lot of Sonic. And then after that, I think I never had the PlayStation. My brother did, and then he handed it down to me when the two came out. So he had the two, I had the one. And then I took the two when he like kind of got busy and didn't really play anymore. But now we're playing on was it the Switch, which is crazy. I mean, it went from like being, 2 feet, 3 feet away from the TV with the cord to now you can just be like 15 feet back. Like my daughter will play like this with the remotes behind her head and she's
Oh,
laying down
really?
and she just plays with the remotes just like sideways on the couch. I'm like, we actually got one of the little Sega boxes. You can still buy like I think we got it from Amazon or maybe Target. You just type in like retro Sega and it's it looks the original, but it's like a mini one. And it has the
Yeah.
cords you actually hook up. And once in a while I'll tell my son, like, hey, play with that one so you know what it's like to be like stuck right here. You can't get up and go and get what you want and keep playing. You gotta like press pause and actually walk away because the cord. And the first time he did it, he like almost yanked it out of the wall because he was trying to like do something. I'm
Oh,
like, yeah,
wow.
man, we have like you have cords with this. It's not wireless. Not everything's wireless.
That's the adjustment that the kids won't know how to do because they were born into the wireless times. Because
Word.
even when did the Nintendo Wii come out? That was like early 2000s, right?
I say like oh 08, right? Oh 08 maybe.
I have little cousins that was born during that year, so that's all they know from that on.
Yeah, I never got into the Wii, but I knew people who did, and I'm like, man, that's just jumping from whatever came out before that to the Wii, and people are playing games and sports on it and stuff, doing all
The
this
Wii was
fitness stuff
the
on
Wii
it.
was cutting edge because there was nothing like it at the time. Like you could use the remote to freaking play tennis, to play pool and all that stuff. It was dope. It was a really a
Nah,
dope idea.
the 64 came out before that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boy. You had games on
man.
64, Dwayne?
Huh?
You had games on Nintendo 64?
Yeah, I had the 64. I had a oh boy, I had 64. I had a PlayStation 1. I had PlayStation 2. And PlayStation 2 had the best games, man. NBA Ballers, you know what I'm saying? San Andreas, NBA Street Volume 2. You know,
Yo.
that
Yeah,
PlayStation 2 era was a good era.
yeah, that's what
I was
made
more
Sony
I was
step it
more on
up.
the Crash Bandicoot wagon though. And I was more on the Need for Speed and stuff. That was and Tekken. That's what I was into. Yeah. So I was on the
Yeah.
PS2 and the PS3 wave too.
Yeah, Tekken for sure.
Shit. But like, do y'all remember Atari? Do y'all remember like handheld games? Like real throwback games.
Game Boy Color, the
Oh,
Pokemon
Oh,
with the Pokemons with the colors gold, silver,
oh,
red.
oh my God.
Yo,
oh,
those
forgot
those
about
those Pokemon games could start wars.
forgot about that. They came out with like the limited edition red ones for the fire ones, I think, and then the blue
Yeah.
ones, and then they
Yeah,
had like special like gold ones or yellow or something. Oh, I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
tell you.
yo, if you pick up a Game Boy Color, if you pick up a Game Boy Color right now, you're gonna wonder why the hell were you playing this? It's only AB.
But then they came back with Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, yeah. I think it had more
But
buttons,
one
right?
thing about Game Boy Advance, I was invested.
Like, what you mean?
They had a lot of gadgets that you could. They had a light that you put on the Game Boy Advance.
Yo, you're right.
Oh
Actually,
my
They
yeah.
had freaking a lot of extra gadgets, and I'll freaking just go and get the
They had the
freaking
link.
gadgets. Yeah, because you want to trade, right?
If you wanted to play with somebody, you would have to connect your Game Boy with the wire to another Game Boy.
Yes, I had that happen
oh.
too, yo. I tell you, yo,
Yo,
I
they
should
was
have
on some
always
bullshit.
know.
They was on some bullshit, man. They got everybody money with this bullshit.
Nah, and then it's like now if you like invested in like now if you like invested in the thing, like every time they show a freaking commercial at the time or they send you something in the magazine, you went and bought it because you're just like, yo, I want to experience all the games, you know?
Nah, for sure. Yeah, the Game Boy
But
Advance definitely had a lot of gadgets.
did anybody play Sega Dreamcast?
That wasn't my thing.
Nah, I never had it. No.
I knew somebody with it, but I just couldn't get into it.
Well,
Nigga.
back to the real quick to the N64, Dwayne, you were mentioning, but I never had it, but when I played friends with it, GoldenEye, I was the worst. Plus, I always played against people. I'd always watch my friends doing their thing, and I jump in on it. But they played it so much, they knew where the like when your character gets shot and killed, where that you would come back up. So they knew where all those spots were. So they didn't give me a single chance. They'd give me like maybe 5 seconds after I come up, but they were already waiting for me. So they'd shoot me. They knew where I'd come up. They'd rush there, shoot me again. And I'm like, man, this isn't fun. So that put me off to 64 because they killed me in GoldenEye too much.
Yeah, I heard GoldenEye was real competitive for sure.
But one thing I remember, like, if you had like multiple players for like a PlayStation or an Xbox and shit, that shit was dope. All you had to do is bring your remote over and have the connector, bro. That was dope, yo. You can have a game with like up to like 4 players, and if you in a party, everybody take turns, yo. We used to play like, yo. I used to go to people's house and play Smash Brothers, racing, and Tekken and Mortal Kombat and pass the remote. Like, shit was crazy.
Yo, people don't do that anymore, man. They play online versus each other. They don't go to each other's house to play games anymore.
Times has changed, yo. It was real crazy to freaking go to somebody's house and then you in a room and just playing games all day.
Nah, for sure. It's a good time, man. It's a shame people don't do that no more, man. They play online.
But man, those people that play online go off. One of my friends, we lived together, and our landlord came over one day when it was just me outside. She's like, "Hey, are you guys okay? I heard you fighting." He's yelling, and I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, "No, we're cool." And I'm like, "Oh, you know what? He's a gamer." So he's like going off on his live games, and I knew all the friends he was playing with, but they'd be going off on each other, like all those videos you see on YouTube and stuff, and people saying stuff. And I'm
Yeah.
like, she thought we were actually fighting all the time. And I'm like, no, he stays up real late playing. And she's like, okay, I just want to make sure you guys are okay. And I'm like, no, we're good. But man, he would go off. And then right now we had a neighbor that just moved out. Same thing, like afternoon on the weekends, just yelling, cussing, just drop the flag, motherfucker, all this like crazy stuff. And I'm like, man, he's playing this game. It's crazy.
Yeah, boy. I mean, them streamers would go hard.
Yeah, I never got into that though.
Not into what?
But
Nah, me neither. Me neither.
yeah,
I
like
just
the
started playing games again.
now I just play like whatever my son's playing, I'll try to get in on it. He's I or I'll just watch him play like Kirby, or I'll bust his ass in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So what computers did y'all always have computers in your house?
Uh, yeah, I think so. But we had those when we first had it. From what I remember, those black like 6 by 6 inch floppy disks where they're actually floppy.
I was just gonna mention that too. Go ahead.
Like you got to like carefully put it in because you might bend it too much and it might tear. And then it from there it went to like, well, we with that we had like Oregon Trail, like the real OG computer game. And then we had those little like 3.5 inch discs, like those hard ones that you like put in that were only like 10 megabytes or something each, or they weren't that big, maybe like 30 megabytes. I don't know how they fit anything on there.
Did y'all do y'all remember having to try to go on the internet, but the internet was connected to your phone? So you
Yeah.
couldn't use the
Yeah.
internet when somebody was on the call and
When
dial up took forever.
people call your house, it makes like a noise, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I definitely remember that. That actually wasn't that long ago because I was in high school at that time. Maybe like
Damn.
2008, right? That had to be 08, 07. They stopped doing that in 08, 07.
Dang, really?
I
Wow.
feel like it went that long.
Damn, that was extremely long. But back in the day, you couldn't use the internet and somebody used the phone at the same time. It was crazy. And
Yeah.
dial-up was extremely slow.
Mm.
Oh yeah. No, when my sister would want to like, I think she'd be on the phone or the computer. All I did was unplug the phone line and disconnect her for a minute so I can get back on. But she'd be pissed because I'm like, I need to use whatever. But that was the only way to get them off. If they won't do it themselves, you just unplug the phone line.
I had so much people in my house. We ended up just playing, because I was small at the time. We ended up just playing the computer games all day. Like solitaire and mine and pinball. Did y'all play those?
Oh, I
Yeah, that
remember that on there.
computer, right?
Yeah, on the computer we talking.
Yeah, I played that. 'Cause I had a computer with no internet. Yeah. So I just had to play the games. Yeah, for sure.
Uh, did y'all ever have Sims?
I didn't.
You
No,
said you didn't?
I never got
Uh,
into.
No, the Sims was fun.
It looks fun. It looks like fun. Like it looks like a good version of Grand Theft Auto.
You're freaking controlling the person from what they do in the morning. They go to they you build the house. It was fun, but they had different versions. But the original one was literally you got your wife, you got your kids, and y'all basically doing stuff for each other in the house. And it was fun because everybody had different personality. It's regular like regular shit that y'all go through now, but in the game version, if you know what I mean.
yeah. I never got into it though. I know some people did, but when that came out, it was mostly on the computer, and I wasn't like playing much anymore on the computer.
Damn.
Yeah,
So
I remember. So
So y'all remember all these windows that they had? Like I know the earliest one I had was like Windows 98, Millennium Edition or something. No, Windows 98, yeah.
nah,
Yeah, I
I forgot.
remember that.
Yeah, Windows 98, Windows Vista, Windows XP, Windows, all those, man. They was running it up.
And it's like weird because even with the Windows, if you even now, if you don't jump on it right away, it's all good. But eventually, you have to jump on it because your favorite stuff won't be compatible, or your computer will just be like, it's not going to work. But the biggest Windows that changed was the Windows 8 because I kid you, nobody knew how to use that shit. I had to teach people.
That's the one that was the most it was modern, right? It came out like 2011.
Yeah, around there, but then it was the tiles, and nobody knew how to do the shit. The first time you had the tiles,
Oh, word.
Oh shoot.
and then all the GUI and the stuff was all over the place, and nobody knew where stuff was. It was weird. So I had like a lot of computers. Like my family, we always had a computer in the house, but it would break down and we'll just get a new one easy. It's crazy. So yeah, y'all always had different computers, like everybody had different laptops and stuff.
I only got whatever we could get, but I mean, I was downloading a lot of music, so it would always get viruses.
That's the next thing I was gonna go into.
Yeah.
Shit.
What programs do y'all remember downloading music for? Napster?
Come on, man. You know what we're about to say? You know the big L. LimeWire, man.
LimeWire.
Oh, LimeWire.
Ooh. Boy, your computer gonna explode if you use LimeWire.
Bro, my computer at the time I had we knew about LimeWire, we was using it, but we found other stuff like BearShare and Kazaa and stuff like that, like the alternates, because the computer would just turn off with LimeWire, bro. Yeah.
I remember
Mhm.
LimeWire and Kazaa, but man, you'd spend like 45 minutes just to download like two or three songs, and just to find out like two of them don't even work.
Word.
Word,
Yeah.
or the version is not clean enough or clear enough.
Oh man, and you spent like all that time just to be like, man, I didn't get anything.
Yo, or like let's say you're gonna go download an album, right? For
Yeah.
some reason, when you download the album, all 12 songs were like crank that Soldier Boy.
Oh,
Like
or
I feel like Soldier Boy really popped off on LimeWire. Anytime you downloaded the song, his song was in there.
you gotta understand, like Soldier Boy knew how to saturate the market. He still do know how to get attention though to now, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he a computer genius, man.
He just yeah. It's like but like when y'all burned the CDs, how did y'all burn them? Like my family, they ended up buying us the freaking label packet, the thing that you hold the CDs in, and all of
Mhm.
that. Like they was like trying to help us get a CD career because the CDs got so easy, bro. So did you have all of that, or you just put wrote on the marker? This is 50 Cent album or something.
I had the label thing, and I would like try to print it out and stuff, but it took so much ink. Like after a couple labels, it would just like drain out the ink for the one I had. So I just went back to Sharpie straight on.
What about
Okay.
you, Dwayne?
Mine was a little different because like when I was running around, like you had your cell phone in one pocket and you had an iPod in another pocket. So I would just download the song, put it in my iTunes, and then I'll have it on my iPod Nano.
Oh, iPod is right after.
Yeah, I ain't put it on a CD. I put it on like an iPod Nano. I didn't have to burn
Oh
CDs.
man.
Wait. People was burning CDs way before iPods popped. So even then, you wasn't burning CDs, or nobody in your
Well,
crib
no,
was.
I feel like when people were burning CDs, I was like 10.
Mm.
Yeah, you get me? Because like I was 10 in 2003.
Right, and that's like when when
Okay.
R. Kelly dropped the Chocolate Factory, right?
Oh
Or
man.
was it TP? One of them shits. 'Cause I remember, I
That's a
remember,
wild benchmarker.
I remember getting it from the mixed CDs that the album had just came out and was downloaded from the internet, and then I just put it on the mixed CD, and I think it was CP2. Y'all remember that one?
No, I don't think
It's
That's
so.
the one with I Wish.
it's
Oh,
gold with a red wrap with a red ribbon on it.
No, that's all. Wait. That's Red Women was Chocolate Factory, I think, right? Yeah,
A red ribbon.
yeah, that's Chocolate Factory.
Oh,
The one where he said, "I wish, I wish, I wish."
okay, I know TP2. He's on cover.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got you. With a fur coat.
I
I got
remember
you.
somebody told me to buy to burn those, so I was burning the business that time, burning them. Oh, and a lot of Jay-Z shit came out around that, right?
yeah.
But it was crazy because like at this time too, you could somebody would have a CD and you could just burn it and get the CD for yourself. I was doing that a lot too.
Yeah, I was doing that, borrowing it for like a few days. But with
Yeah.
the bootlegs, man, I always had a friend, like two friends in particular, that I find out about an album, be like, "Hey, did you know Jay-Z's new one comes out in like 2 weeks?" And they'll already have it. They're just like, "Oh yeah, I've been listening to that for the last 2 weeks." I'm like, how that? I don't know which ones they use.
I hated that they pirated Jay-Z like that though. I'm not gonna lie.
The
He
bootleg
wasn't
had
a
Yeah,
a nice
I
plug.
motherfucker.
mean,
He's a
it did
motherfucker.
change everything. But I'm like, man, you've been listening it to for 2 weeks, and I just learned about it, and it's not even out yet for another couple weeks. So they found whatever program that didn't give them the viruses, but they would get clean copies too.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the people who had those before it came out, I feel like they had like a connect with like an engineer, and maybe sometimes the engineers leak the songs.
I think so.
Yeah, and you can get that. You can rip it from the internet that way.
Damn, bro.
Years ago, when I worked at Target, in the back room, they would have all the electronic CDs, DVDs, and like the special electronic lockup. And the boxes for like the release date, they would have all kinds of tape on it saying like do not sell this before this date, like the actual release date, because they would get it in the back room like a week ahead or a couple of days ahead. But if you did scan it and sell it before, it would like trigger something, and like the store gets in trouble, the employee gets in trouble. But every time I saw those, I'm like, come on, just scan it for me.
So,
Like let's just open it up and listen to it. And they're just like, no, we can't do that.
Even even when they had like special editions or re-releases and all of that, right?
Yeah, it would be all taped up saying, do not sell, do not open before this date, do not sell before this date.
Mm. But yeah, I had a career of burning CDs for everybody around me, and I also burned a lot of CDs for myself back then. I was just going in with it.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
And then of course with the like I said just now with the somebody will come over and they'll be holding the CD you want, and then you'll be like, let me borrow that for like a half an hour, and then just burn it real fast and get it back to them before they left the house. It was crazy, bro. Like these are crazy times, bro.
you was the bootleg man. You don't even know.
Yeah, I was doing it for my immediate family though.
Asking about what happened to the bootleg, man. What'd you do? Because you were the one doing it.
Yeah.
But it's well, after a while, just stopped and then um did other stuff. You know,
Yo, this crazy. There's this guy on like by my house. He still sells DVDs and CDs like outside on the street. Still sells DVDs and CDs. I don't know if anybody's buying it, but he's there every day, morning to night.
it must be a market for somebody. There's people that still got old stereo, still got DVD players and CD players that they're still using.
Hmm.
There's still people that got cars that still have CD players in there. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. Well, I heard CDs are coming back though. Like
It
people
needs
buy.
to. You don't think it needs to?
Nah, for sure. For
Mm,
sure, they need to because at the end of the day, like Look at music, man. Nobody even cares about music when it comes out because they're not paying for it.
Wow.
Like when streaming first came out, like Spotify and what's the other one? Pandora. I'm like, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I'm like, what do you mean I can just like play whatever I want? I'm like, but I have all my CDs. Like, what do I do with that? They're like, oh, forget your CDs. Now you just go on this, make an account, and you can just pull up your artist and just play it. I'm like, I just couldn't get it. I'm like, but what do you mean? I have CDs though. Like, what's going to happen to CDs? I have all these CDs. And they're like,
Yeah.
forget that. And then now I'm like, what do I do with my CDs now? I'm just listening. I'm just streaming all the time. Now what do I do with them?
What was some? There was also a lot of well, there's still ads on TV, but back in the day, I felt like the ads would draw you more better. Do you think the ad campaign back then was way more enticing than now? Like these ads made me want to go outside and buy the shit, right? On TV commercials.
I'm
Like for
trying to think.
movies or music?
No, like let's say you're watching a TV show and then they show a commercial. I feel like they presented stuff better back then than they do
Oh,
now that make you want to entice it to run out and get to the store and get it. Do y'all believe that?
I feel like they're not really. The attention span is so low right now. Maybe you're right. Maybe they're just like showing you the product and being like, "Yo, go get it." They're not really trying to like advertise to you or like entertain you anymore. Cause like those old commercials, like there was this commercial, everybody's on the phone and they're all like, "What's up?" I don't even know what that was about, but I like the commercial. So whatever
I
they're
think
selling,
that
I
was
get.
one of the cell phone companies out of Sprint, Singular, or something.
Right. See, that's memorable. I remember that commercial years later. I can't tell you what's on TV now.
I remember seeing old toy commercials back in the day where they're like just flying through the air with the figures and the vehicles and stuff. And I'm like, man, I remember growing up seeing those being like, man, I gotta get that now. And my parents would tell me no, but I still wanted it.
Yeah, for sure.
How big was merchandising back in the day? Like, I remember Steve Urkel and The Simpsons being such a huge thing because of their merchandise, bros.
I remember a lot of Simpson stuff out there. Like when they first, not, I don't know if it's when they first came out, but like the dolls, the
Maybe when it was
shirts,
on
like
the
the,
top of their peak.
yeah. I mean, you still kind of get that now with like TV shows with their merch and everything. Like Rick and Morty, I see a lot of um, that cartoon on whatever it's on, Adult Swim. I see a lot of merch out still.
Mm.
But
Uh,
now I realize that the merch, I mean, merch brings more attention to everybody because it's like, I see these nostalgia merch, like they have the Nickelodeon shirts, the Nickelodeon hoodies, sweaters, and they'll have all the characters of Cartoon Network.
nah, for sure. Like Dragon Ball Z used to come up with those action figures.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, those action figures. They had the what else they had? They had the Dragon Balls you could buy, the Dragon Ball keychains.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
like, it was lit back in the days.
I feel like what was also good? The fast food when they had the toys. What was better, the toys and the fast food or the cereal, or was it both equal? What do y'all think?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Does
I'm thinking
anybody
the
hold
fast
merit?
food
Probably nobody
toys.
holds merit.
You talking about the toys in the cereal or just the toys or cereal in general?
The toys that you find in the cereal.
Oh no, the toys in the fast food, bro. Come on, those OG kids meals at Happy Meals at McDonald's.
Yeah, you get like a full size toy in them sometimes.
Nah, for sure. And it was good quality toys. Like they last for years.
But the ones in the cereal will break easy, is what you're saying?
Yeah, the ones in the cereal box were like cardboard. You
Yeah, they
know,
were kind of flimsy. But
they used
yeah,
to
the
give
fast
books.
food ones were like legit toys.
Yeah, for sure.
They used to what?
They used to give like books too, right? They used to put like little books in the
I don't
cereal.
remember this. I don't remember the books. Y'all remember books? I don't remember
I feel
books.
like on Frosted Flakes, I feel like on the Frosted Flakes box, they would always talk about you could win books or something like that, or you could get books. And the books were
Oh,
like,
oh, you know what it
Oh,
was? I had a lot of General Mills cereal. So they would have coupons for the Scholastic book stuff.
oh,
You had to cut it out. Is that what you're talking about?
I think so, but I feel like one day I got a book. I'll show you. One day I actually put my hand in the cereal box and I got a book, and the book was like something nice and flimsy, like if I could even find it. I don't know if I can find something right now offhand. Let's say it's like this thin,
Yeah.
but it's like half of this. It was a small book, because you could just slide it right in the cereal box.
I don't remember the books though. But
I know Chick-fil-A does that now.
oh, they
Like
do?
like you're saying, yeah, like kind of like that size book that you had right now, but like half the size. My
Yeah.
kids get those sometimes, and they like them. They're pretty cool. But I also remember, Rod, with the like you collect so many tops, you send it in with the form, and the form would be like attached to the back of the box, and then you
Yeah.
could like pick one of like 4 or 5 books or something.
Did y'all ever
Yeah.
participate in the Monopoly game for McDonald's?
Oh,
Yeah, we
Yo,
taking
and
it there.
I forgot all
you could,
about that. They was playing that game for like 10 years and nobody won.
yes, no,
I don't know if nobody won, but it was exciting.
yeah.
I don't know if it was probably more than 10 years.
Like you
I
could
feel
win
like that
all the
was my whole life.
cheeseburgers.
Huh?
Like you could win all the fries and cheeseburgers, but you can never win like the big prize.
Yeah, you buy a fry, you buy a burger, you peel the thing off, you buy the drink, you peel it off, you put it on the thing. I think it was just doing it for fun after a while because everybody thought
Yeah.
they could win.
But but you could like if you want something small, you could bring it to the register and get like a cheeseburger for real. Like
Hmm.
if you took it off and you want like a small fries, you can go to the register and get a small fries.
That is
Yeah,
true. That was true. That was definitely the wave at the time, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I remember that. That was fun.
They don't got
Oh,
that. Oh, they don't have that no more. That's crazy.
Uh,
see,
yeah,
Yeah,
something like that. I feel like they would be successful if they brought that back.
yeah,
If it
they would
hasn't been
actually.
around, that would.
pretty sure it's probably gonna come back eventually because they're always bringing stuff back. Like last week, I was watching The Weakest Link, and I'm like, yo, this show hasn't been on forever.
The weakest link is still on TV.
The Weakest Link is brought back now on Channel 7 as a new person.
Wow,
No, I
that's
never seen
crazy.
that.
But the new version,
No, I never seen the Weakest Link.
you're not familiar with The Weakest Link?
No.
Damn.
It wasn't really that popular though. It wasn't like It wasn't like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
It was before Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or after on the time slot.
I feel yeah, but
But you could say
Regis,
the channel, so yeah.
yeah, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire took over, son.
And I think they brought that back too.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. What about Pokemon cards?
Yo, if you had Pokemon cards, like you were the fucking El Chapo of the school, bro. Yo, if you had Pokemon cards, you was El Chapo, man. Like that was like in high regard for some reason.
But then they brought out Yu-Gi-Oh cards at the same time.
Yeah, I feel like it was Pokemon. Pokemon was rocking. Then Yu-Gi-Oh came out was rocking for like a good 5 years. But I feel like Pokemon is back again.
and then
Oh,
Digimon, right?
Nah, Digimon never really had any wave. Did-
People I know was watching or playing Digimon,
yeah,
but
but
I
they don't
thought
have
I feel
cards.
like Digimon was trying to copy both of them.
No,
What y'all think?
I
they,
never got into Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, but I remember a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh though and Pokemon. But I never got into it. But my son, he's into it now. I don't think he knows what he's doing, but he likes to, try to catch them all. But he'll tell me like, "Oh, this one is bigger than that one, has more power, has this and that." And he's 8, so I'm just like,
I'm only
okay.
talking in regards to the cards. I'm not talking about the TV franchise or the new game. But they used to be like they used to try to what they used to do with the cards. They used to try to just trade them, and if you
Mhm.
had a certain edition cards, like what was the purpose of the cards?
Yo, you just have to
No.
collect them. The point is to collect them all, get more. So the more
So
you
if
got,
somebody
like,
had extra, you'll just be like,
listen,
"Yo,
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I've never seen anybody battle Pokemon cards.
No.
Have you ever seen anybody battle? I've never seen anybody battle Pokemon cards.
I
No.
don't know." Like I remember having them when I was little, but I was like, "Yo, what's the point of this?"
Yo, you gotta catch them all, man. You gotta get them all. That's a crazy business model. I'm gonna sell you something you're never gonna use. Just buy it.
So I want to ask you. I know I'm going back and forth, but what was the first CD that you bought with your own money? You personally bought, not nobody bought it for you.
What's the Lil Wayne? What was Lil Wayne's CD? A Millie. He had that song.
Carter 3?
Oh,
Carter three, man. Carter
uh,
three. 10th grade, ninth grade.
That is something, my boy.
Yeah.
How about you, Eric?
different genre, but Hootie and the Blowfish. Because my
Oh,
dad gave me, or my parents gave me like $5 or something, and I went down to a shop by my house, and they had like a bunch of used CDs, and that was like one of the few that I recognize. So I'm like, you know what? I think this is from. I saw it on MTV, so I picked that up.
That's pretty dope, man. MTV was a
Yeah,
yeah. Like, remember we had to physically go to the freaking CD store and get all the CDs, bro. It's like, shit was
Sam
crazy.
Goody, Warehouse.
We had the Wiz, we had Tower Records, we had Virgin Megastore, we had Circuit City. Yeah, I had Circuit City out there.
Yeah, you guys have remember the listening stations where it had like
Yeah.
the little
Old Navy.
tower.
Huh?
That was the Old Navy, right?
Nah. You could
The
listen to
listening
the
stations.
yes, you could listen to the
Yeah,
album before you bought it.
yeah, it was like hooked up to a Discman, and it was like locked up, so no one could like pull it out or anything. And it had the CD above it, so you know what you're listening to, and you can mess with the volume, play, pause, change the songs. And it had those like headphones with like the fuzzy thing, the black fuzzy thing
Yeah.
on it, that you don't know who touched it, but you're gonna listen to it anyway. You're gonna put it on your
Mm.
face.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Oh my gosh, bro.
It was like a booth, right?
Kinda, yeah. It was
I wouldn't say it's
like a
like a
post.
boom.
It was
Nah.
like a post that had like maybe 3 CD players on it,
Yeah. And then
and you
you
just
just had
kind
the
of
big
stand there
headphone.
and yeah, like put on these community headphones
Oh wow.
that they didn't wash, but you gotta. I mean, you want to listen to the new track, so
I think I remember that.
You do?
remember CD singles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yo, like, and you know what's
the radio edit, the instrumental version,
the acapella and the instrumental and
Yeah,
my
yeah, and sometimes they snuck a track on there that wouldn't even be on the album, so you got to have the
yeah,
single. If you didn't have the single, then you didn't know about the song because they wouldn't put it on the album.
that is entirely true. That's like a B-side type thing.
Yeah,
My older sister, she used to go to school in Manhattan a lot, so she used to just have they used to just hand them out at this point. she'll just bring home like mad stuff like VLW or Eve mixtape or Brandy new song, stuff like that. So I remember that. But yo, tell you,
I,
bro.
I remember when downloading was kind of getting a little bigger, and it was like Starbucks. They would have these little business cards with codes on the back, and it would just have like random songs. It'd be like Nora Jones or something. But I'm like, oh, free music, okay. And I would collect all these little cards, go home, and I'd have to like go into iTunes and like redeem them. So it was like before they would just like give free singles to kind of introduce you to the artist kind of thing.
That's a good idea though.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah,
They should do that now.
yeah.
Because it's like, there's always new groups, there's always new artists. And they did that too because I remember who 3LW was, of course. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
We had their mixtape when they had No More, Players Gonna Play, and something else. So that was way before they blew up. I was like, yo, so they did. So I know what you're talking about, Eric. Went through that. So yeah, bros. What about um what about how the evolution of the phones? Like one point it was a freaking you had to turn the phone around to dial, and then you had to dial it with the cordless the cord phone and the cordless phone.
I
Wasn't
remember
that
when we got our first cordless phone, where it was like the house cordless phone when we first got it. Because I remember having like upgrading from like the standard cord to like the 20-foot cord where you can like go around the corner and talk on the phone.
yeah.
And then we got the cordless phone, and it was like a game changer. It was like, wait a minute, you can be on the phone in the other room. You're not attached to the
Yeah.
cord anymore. Because then when you're on the cord and you're trying to do stuff and people are like running into it, pull it out of the wall, or just like, you're on the phone, they pull the cord and it yanks you. Remember that. And then when we got the cordless phone, yeah, man, that was like a game changer. It felt like luxury.
Hmm. I remember that for sure. Uh, I don't know, but when they started to combine the cordless phone and the answering machine,
Oh
like
yeah. Yo,
yo,
did y'all remember
Mhm.
um y'all remember trying to record the message on the answer machine and you put music and stuff too?
nah, for sure. Yo, this is Dwayne. If you really want to speak to me, man, listen to the song. You put it to like it's a hard knock life, Jay-Z.
And then they'll have to finish the whole song and then beep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
word.
Oh,
Uh,
by the way, did anybody in your house have beepers?
nah, there was some people's around. I found them beavers
Yeah.
like people's around.
Yeah. I
I
had a hand me down from my sister.
My dad had a beeper, but it was so weird to me, like during that time, because I'm like, yo, you had to just you had to call that beeper number and then they call you back. That's supposed to be like a text message thing, or like how to work.
It's kind of like that. Like I would call your pager and it would like it'd send you a message telling you to call my number. But I think you could set it in the pager, like you would put my number down as Eric. So you look at it, you'd be like, oh, Eric's calling me. Because I had one, it was like a hand me down from my sister. So I'd be at my friend's house and beep, 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 beep. I check and I'm like, hey, I need to use your phone. My mom's calling.
Oh,
But there was no like there's no answering machine on the cell phone back then, right?
nah, it wasn't advanced.
No, no voicemails.
Yeah. So you need a beeper.
Mm.
You feel
Man,
me?
I remember carrying a quarter and trying to find a payphone though too.
Boy, payphone, man. If you use a payphone in 2024, you're risking your life, boy.
Yeah.
A
You know
payphone
what's
in 2024
funny?
is a bathroom.
You know what's funny? There's still a couple around. Very
Yeah.
few, but I'm still seeing some payphones around. Yeah? Did y'all spot some?
They got some.
I haven't seen them in a while, but
You got to go to the depths of the hood to see a payphone.
There's one in the train station right by me. Like, it's really still some around, bro.
you need to clean that before you use it.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there, bro. Not at this
Oh,
point.
Well, I remember like if I'm out and I need to call my parents and no one had a cell phone, so we'd get a payphone. We'd call like 1-800 collect, where it's like say your name so the person you're calling could like answer it and be like, okay, do I want to answer it? Eric's calling me. But you would call and be like, hey, I'm hanging out with Dustin. And then hang or wait for them to answer and then they'll deny it. So they're not getting charged for answering it, but you could still call them and tell them where you're at. So if me and my friends are out, I'd be like, 1-800 collect, please say your name. I'm with Rod and Dwayne. We're over here at the shop. And then they'll answer it, they'll hear it, then they'll hang up, then you hang up. So it was a cheap way to, if you didn't have a quarter on you or 50 cents on you.
Mm. That is something, bro. That is something. Who remembers the evolution of the cameras?
oh boy, that's I remember the camera, man. I remember before the phones, they had the digital cameras.
Yes, that's what I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about.
Yeah, the digital cameras, man.
You had to do a lot of work. You had to freaking you would take pictures, then you get them washed at the pharmacy. And then there's some that you throw away. Like the camera after it's done, it'll throw away, right? Remember those?
You,
the the ones that you wind up?
Oh, so you're taking it back.
Is that what you, oh, when you said throwaway, I thought that's what you meant, like the wind up ones.
They had those too. I remember my parents taking us on vacation and stuff, and then we'll just take pictures all through the vacation. And then once we're done, we get the photos, and then we'll just throw the cameras. It'll be like a one-time use camera.
yeah, the disposable joints.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all know about those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember those, man. Yeah, I feel like the iPhone really fucked. Can I curse on this?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like the iPhone really like fucked up a lot of nostalgia, man. Yeah,
Yeah. Dude, technology took away all that stuff.
And then after that, you did have actual cameras that were yours, and you still had to go get the film printed, but you wouldn't throw those away. You'll keep the camera, right?
hmm
Yeah. You dropped a little like 35 or something.
yeah, the
35.
35 film.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yo, you know what's
You
even
have to
crazy? Yeah,
What?
there's no more albums. When's the last time you see a photo album?
when I go to my mom's house.
Ancient.
There's no more photo albums.
It's like there's no point now where like it's like no point. You could put everything on your phone. You could upload it to your social media or keep it on your computer. My my sister used to put her photos on those tiny discs. They weren't floppy, but you know what I'm talking about. Like you put the disc in the middle of the computer,
Yeah,
a little.
flash drive.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and then you'll just throw all your photos. She'll do all her photos on there. Like if she went to a trip, she'll say this for this trip or that trip or whatever, or somebody's birthday. So like that's how we used to save stuff back then, yo. But now it's like with the phone, even if you change phones and stuff, you still have it backed up in the cloud.
Oh yeah, never really lose it.
Yeah, bro. Is there any stores from back in the day that y'all would like to that are no longer way back in the day, not talking about recent, that are no longer here? Circus City is one. And Toys R Us is the other.
Toys R Us, I was gonna say.
Yo, what's that show? Damn. it was a electronics store, and Nick Cannon had bought it.
The Wiz?
No, it was an electronics store that Nick Cannon bought. I can look it up right now on the computer.
Radio Shack?
Hmm.
Radio Shack, man.
Where? I don't know how that feels.
Yeah, I don't know how either.
Yeah, that one seemed like something that should still be around because it had all the stuff that like you couldn't easily get at like Best Buy or Circuit City. Like they would have it.
Yeah, for sure. Radio Shack had everything. Get a PlayStation, a stereo, everything.
You could get your electronic needs, even the audio needs in one spot. So if you was in there for multiple people, you could buy it at once. It was I don't understand how that failed.
I don't know.
What are some other stores that dropped really fast? I'm trying to remember. I remember they had the Wiz. Nobody beats the Wiz. They had a lot of commercials for that. Y'all remember that?
What is that?
It used to have electronics and stuff. Nobody beats the Wiz though. That was the commercials for that.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I don't remember. A Nobody Beats the Wiz.
If you look that up online now, you're gonna see a flyer for it, I'm pretty sure.
What are they in the store?
It was a store. It was similar to freaking Sam Goody. Oh, that's another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's no more Sears, right?
There's
I
very
don't
few left
know.
in the country.
Yeah, there's no more Sears either, man.
They're all going. JC Penney still around?
We still have some Jason Pennies over here.
They hanging on, brother.
Oh.
They barely hanging on.
But you know what's really crazy?
What's up?
Movie theaters, I don't know about if by where you live, Eric, but movie theaters are becoming extinct.
No, I think they're still I think they're on a decline, but I think they're still pretty cool. I like taking the kids to them because like they got the reclining seats now, and sometimes some of them like bring the food to you or you order
I
ahead.
think it depends on I think because of the competition, most of
Mm.
the old fashioned ones that don't have those features are the ones that are closing. Because I know over here in New York, a lot of the multiplex cinemas has closed and stuff.
I feel like
Yeah,
because of COVID, like they put like all the movies on Netflix on streaming straight.
yeah. Even my son said the other day, he's like, I forget what movie is coming out, but he's like, we'll just wait for it to come on Amazon Prime and we'll rent it because it'll be cheaper than going to the movies. And I'm like, you're actually right.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, for sure.
if we buy it on Prime, it might be like 20, $25. But if we go to the theater, that's like 15, $18 a ticket, and then the food, and then like, and he's 8. He's smarter than me than when I was 8.
That is something, bro. That is
Yeah.
something. Y'all remember any other stores that went out of business entirely?
Well, when you said Toys R Us, I was thinking of KB Toys that would be in the mall.
Oh yeah.
But
I remember
when K
Payless.
I'm surprised that one went.
That's gone.
There's no
I
more
think
Payless
so.
over here.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
think
they're
Payless is
out. I was
This is
surprised about that one because I mean they were shoes. Everyone needs shoes.
yeah.
Cheap good shoes.
That's a good point.
But I think it got replaced by like maybe Famous Footwear. We got a lot of Famous Footwear and DSW out here, but they're selling like the name brands and everything. So I think it just got replaced with that.
Let me see what else left. Foot Lockers. I mean, not Foot Lockers still here.
Yeah. But when KB left, KB Toys, it was like, man, at least we still got Toys R Us. And then Toys R Us is gone.
Yeah.
It's one of
Right.
those like when
They're
Circuit
trying to
City
bring
left.
Toys R Us back, but like I don't understand how what they have to do to stick around because Toys
No,
is
they're
still
back. They're in Macy's.
Oh, really?
Like they got their own section.
Oh, so like they downsized, but they teamed up with Macy's like collaborators. I get it.
Whoever owns
Yeah.
Macy's bought Toys R Us.
Oh,
So it's like a part of Macy's.
Macy's buying everything. These days, you go into Macy's, you could get Godiva, you get Starbucks, you get it's crazy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I used to hate Macy's.
Now they
Getting
have
dragged in there by
everything.
my parents.
Word. Even the one in KP, right?
Yeah, for sure.
There's gotta be some other stores that I'm thinking about that's no longer here. Give me a second. I know Sam Goody, Kmart.
Oh, Kmart.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The K the Kmart out here had the Little Caesars inside.
Oh word.
Yeah, that was a cool spot because Kmart was cool as it was, and then they had the Little Caesars with the fresh breadsticks and everything. Crazy bread. But actually, I got that a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't as good as it was, being a kid. But I was kind of surprised Kmart went out, but I guess Walmart and Target took over.
Yeah. Man, what else? What else? What else is not with us anymore?
Yeah.
I don't be seeing nah, that's not even that important. Levi's, I barely see Levi's stores at True Religion and stuff.
Hmm.
But then again, everybody's more of the online presence. So to have a storefront,
Oh, that's a good
does that
point
really
too.
count?
Yeah, but so different, just going into the store and like picking up a CD or even just like trying on shoes and stuff. Like I don't remember last time I
Did
went
y'all
into a
remember there was a
store.
lot of Borders?
What is
Oh yeah,
that?
a bookstore.
It was a bookstore.
Yeah.
Barnes and
Like if you
Nobles.
were
Barnes
on,
and
if you
Nobles
were on
walking
the
around everything.
highway, you'll see them at every rest stop. You remember them?
The which one?
Borders. They used to be
Yeah.
all over the country.
Yeah, it
I
was
remember
pretty much
Borders.
Barnes and Noble before Barnes and Noble.
Sports Authority. Models. There we go. Y'all
Yeah,
have
I should have
models over
remembered
there?
Models. I should have remembered Models. I used to love Models.
Y'all have models over there in by you, Eric?
No. Whoa, I don't know what that is.
It's like damn, like Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't hear Modell's though. I remember Sports Authority and Sports Chalet.
Yeah, it's like one of those kind of types.
Hmm.
And there's like so many other stores that went out of business because of the time. Like Lord and Taylor dropped over a few years ago. I remember Lord and
Yeah.
Taylor.
I used to work at Lord and Taylor.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I
Shit.
don't want the wrong thing, man. I don't want you to get sued.
Somebody else was big and they left recently. I remember.
Is Bloomingdale still open?
Bloomingdale's. I
I don't
know
hear.
there's one still on 59th Street, Manhattan. That's still there.
Yeah,
Give me a
and it kind of
second.
makes you think like what else is gonna go out now?
Well, Amazon is taking up everything
Yeah.
and DoorDash and stuff.
That's true.
So like I feel like because Amazon is such a big conglomerate, I feel like it's only a matter of time before nothing's left. And the whole problem, we have a big problem over here with people stealing in the store and everything. I don't know. So they shut down the stores entirely over here, Eric. I don't know about over there.
Dang.
Yeah, I got a
No,
big.
San Diego's pretty good. I don't know about LA though. But I mean they get like they're like a lot of people coming in grabbing a bunch of stuff, but It might be bigger in LA than San Diego. Usually, if it happens in LA, it might trickle down to San Diego for us, or people from LA and come down to here to do it. But I don't think they're shutting down store. I don't think they're shutting down stores.
Fortune off. Y'all
I
know what
don't,
Fortune off is?
I don't know that one.
No.
Man, you buy you buy like it's similar to what they have at what's that place name? IKEA. But IKEA's still around though.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I got one. I got one. Yo, Sleepies.
It was a commercial for that shit, bro. Right?
Sleepies. Yeah, it had a Sleepies, but the little guy on the bed.
Yeah, remember they had a commercial for it and a jingle?
Yeah, I remember. I remember Sleepies, man. Damn, they fell off, man.
I remember back in the day, a lot of commercials had jingles, bro. There was a time. And
Yeah,
the
I was
jingles
trying.
was so catchy. You remember the shit, right?
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely a good time to be alive, man. Damn. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, Riz.
Oh,
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, Riz. You remember that 20 years later, man?
I can't even think of one now. Like for things nowadays, I don't know of any jingles now. I remember that
Mm.
one, yeah.
Yeah, they don't got nothing out here now.
It's just memories, bro. It's just memories. When you brought up Radio Shack, that was a good one, though. I used to always run into Radio Shack and buy the head. You know how like when you if you bought like the cheap headphones, they will rip and break within a couple of days.
Hmm.
I'll go on Radio Shack and buy like at least a $15 one at the time, and that joint will last for months.
Yeah, they had good quality stuff, man. I just don't know how the hell they ran out of business. I feel like it's because Nick Cannon took over and like after that it went downhill. Yeah, he probably sold it or something, and then whoever took it out after that didn't know what to do with it.
And then they had they had Century 21, but they bought it back. Y'all get that out there, Eric?
The Century 21, the real estate.
Nah, it was like a clothing store.
Oh, they
I think
have something
everybody
21.
merging. Like the big people is just picking up the smaller people, you know? What y'all
What
think?
was that?
Everybody's just merging. The big people are picking up the smaller people.
Yeah, I think so. But I wonder if it's going to turn at some point where like people kind of get tired of online, the big stores, and if you like, I don't know, I have a feeling like some like mom and pop shops or small businesses might come back up because people might get tired of like going to the one spot for everything and they might want to check out something, if you got a brand or something like that. I hope so at least because I want the small businesses to come back too.
Wow.
I mean, that's just me hoping.
Wow, bro. So yeah, man. This is supposed to be a two-part episode. So right now we're about to close off this episode, and the next episode we're talking everything media.
All right.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. Like, what do you mean by everything media?
106.
Oh my God. Woohoo, I like where you're going.
MTV in its prime, BET in its prime.
Ooh.
Who was the most influenced people of the time? Scandals, big news
Hmm.
stories. We coming back with that next episode.
Okay.
That's hella
So
dope.
If y'all got time to join me, fellas, let me know.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a bigger, earlier time for you guys.
I'm down, man. I like that conversation for real. I got a lot to say
Yeah.
about 106 and Park.
Mm. So, so this is the end of the episode. Eric, and tell them about yourself, what you do.
All right. I have a Now We're Here podcast. I just kind of talk a little bit about myself, how my whatever's going on in my life, my kids, sports, whatever. Uh, as you see, I'm always wearing Chicago Bulls, so I talk a lot about the Bulls sometimes. I kind of cut it down from like full on Bulls episodes. I'll do it once in a while, but I cut it down to just give like a quick update now, just so I can get to like the more bigger topic, whatever it might be. But I'm on Instagram and Threads. Now We're Here podcast, so check me out.
Dwayne, take us out.
Okay, okay. Yo, Eric, I'm gonna check out your pod, man. I'm gonna subscribe to your channel.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, brother. Yeah, man, I'm just Dwayne. This is my first time doing a podcast. I love the experience. Yeah, man. Here to have a good conversation, man. Good vibes. You know, not too much. Just showing love.
You got any IG, Twitter for anybody to add you?
Next time I get my IG. Next time.
All right, and you got me, the Star Roddy Rod, and we are out of here. Till next time.